celebrating 60 years of much, much more.
Care passed down from Oma to Mama to you.
Of kingdoms past and crowns of ancient kings. I've heard stories of distant lands, realms I long to reach. Your voice, it beckons me to go to worlds unexplored, to leave behind my home and wonder. set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We set off into the summer night, and you're never gonna see us again. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see what we found. We went looking for a new sound, and you're never gonna see.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the final game of the Gauteng leg of the 2025 South Africa Super League, featuring the Pretoria Capitals against the Johannesburg Wild Cats. The Wildcats looking to score their first victory of the tournament so far, while the Pretoria Capitals are looking to remain the only undefeated team in the tournament. The starting lineup for the Johannesburg Wild Cats, who are short, they only have 9 players and a goalie playing tonight. Number 2, Brandon Delport. Number 9, Keegan Thornton, the birthday boy from yesterday. Number 10, Matthew Ruthven. Number 18, Werner Redlinghuis. Number 21, Gareth Bremner. Number 26, Lomar Van Rooyen. Captain, number 44, Jack Validus. Number 77, joining Gareth Bremner as assistant captain, Dylan Compton. And number 13, Robert Kawalenko. Starting in goal tonight for the Wildcats is number 35, Ivan Mueller, who has played all games as the only keeper for the Joburg Wildcats. For the Pretoria Capitals, who have 17 players and 2 goalies dressed for tonight, we have number 3, Chris Venter, number 4, Riley Paulson, who's got a birthday coming up in a couple days. Happy birthday, Riley. Number 5, Josh Roger. Number 6, Franco Robinson, who celebrated a birthday a little while ago. Number 7, Devon van der Merwe. Number 8, assistant captain Stefan Kleitz. Number 9, captain John Fenter. Number 10, assistant captain Dion Pakati. Number 11, Denzel Vervey. Number 12, Reinhard Brits. Number 13, Arthur Chu. Number 14, Reinhard Fenter. Number 15, Langa Malangeni. Number 16, Guillaume Radu. Assistant captain, number 17, Johan van der Merwe. Number 18, Vusi Skosana. Number 19, brother Tion van der Merwe. The goalies for tonight's competitions, number 20, Ruan van der Merwe, who's been in the net for all the previous games, but getting his first start tonight, I understand, is number 1, goalkeeper Alistair Bywater. We'll see if he can keep the clean sheet for the Pretoria Capitals in this tournament. The referees for tonight's game are Jason Van Rooyen and Diego Boita. The Hydra keeper is Etienne Brits, the timekeeper Liesel Radu. The statisticians Marieke Chrysopoulos, Veronica Lachansky, Dominic Stein, and Angelique Berger. The head coach of the Pretoria Capitals is Frank Radu. The manager is Chris Venter. The head coach of the Wildcats is Michael Lee Ching. And the manager is Eileen Murray, who we'll be speaking to in the second period intermission. Once again, we'd like to thank our 3 anchor sponsors, the Spar Cullinan, where you can get over 1,000 exclusive Spar products, and the store has a bean tree coffee shop, takeaway meals, salads, butchery, and a baker. The Spar Cullinan for all your personal and family needs. And the Spur on Oak Ridge in Pretoria, which has a 5-star rating. Fantastic reviews by families with legendary Spur specials, including Burger Mondays and Master Griller combos. Also, a great idea for gift cards for friends and family for those more special occasions with the Spurs' famous birthday song and treat. Finally, Manzi Water, who is the official sponsor, water supplier for both the female and male South Africa Super League teams. Thank you to our sponsors. You make a big difference for a growing sport in the country. Teams about to break from their huddles. A few final words of encouragement before the puck drops for the first period of the final game of the Gauteng leg of the 2025 South Africa Super League. It'll be Ruthven versus Kleitz for the opening puck drop. Ruthven wins the draw, but it's intercepted by Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe takes it in. Puck leaks into the corner. Kleitz behind the net. Sends it to Radu. Radu can't get a shot off. Just dishes it to the corner. Battle for the puck in the corner. Ruthven leaks out. Fenter comes back to Compton. Compton tries to clear it. Ruthven, long lead pass for Validus. Validus turning in the corner. Validus tries to center it. Intercepted by Fenter. Up to Vandermerwe, quick shot. Save and a rebound, corralled by Ivan Mueller, forcing a face-off to the left of the Cats keeper. Each team changes with just over a minute gone in the first period. Picati versus Bremner. Bremner wins the draw. Malangeni in the corner. Bremner scoops the puck. Bremner turning. Malangeni on Bremner. Cats can't get it out. Someone's lost their net guard on the ice. Bremner behind his own net. Circles it back for Thornton. Turned over at the line. Kalenko back to Compton in his own zone. Cats trying to regroup. Cats long lead pass for Bremner on net. Tossed aside by Bywater. Battle for the puck behind the net. Vandermerwe. Here comes Chu. Chu down the side. Chu rims it around the back of the net. Collected by Thornton, who rims it right back and out. Chased by Skasana. Skasana inside his own blue line. Skasana. Headman pass to Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe shoots it chipped in by Robinson. Fenter. Shot blocked. Back to the blue line pairing for the Capitals. Fenter being chased by Validus. Has to retreat behind his own net. Flips it over to Roger. Roger behind his own net. Robinson. Robinson being chased by Redlinghuis. Validus. Validus out in front. Scores! Ruthven on a nice tic-tac-toe pass from Validus. And the Cats open the scoring with 2:54 of the opening marker in this last game. Bit of forecheck pressure paid off for the Cats. That's definitely, it was Ruthven from Validus, and a second assist going to Werner Redlinghuis. So that was a great team effort, team goal, and a nice pass from the side of the net out in front, which beat Bywater. Offside as the Cats look to double their margin in the early stages of the opening period. Face off will come outside just to the left of Bywater, who's been tested early in this match. The Cats clearly hungry for that first victory. Vandermerwe dumps it in the corner. Thornton rims it around, can't get it out. Picked up by Delport. Delport outside his own blue line, tries to go all the way. Delport into the Cap zone. Delport in the corner, looking, gets it back to the point. Van Rooyen rims it around. Here comes Bremner. Bremner tied up by Fenter. Kleitz bringing it out of his own zone. Headmans it. Intercepted by Van Rooyen. Picked off by Kleitz. Kleitz entering the zone. 2 Cats check him up. Puck comes out to Fenter. Fenter, quick shot! Mueller had to be sharp on that. Just got a bit of a stick or a pad to direct it sideways. Radu at his own blue line. Long turning pass intercepted by Bremner, who goes around Radu. Bremner takes a weak shot. It's the side of the net. Radu in his corner. Gets it out to Kleitz. Kleitz over to Vandermerve. Vandermerve crossing the line. Vandermerve in! Shoots! Body safe. Puck went over the boards. Cats are tired. Here comes Karolenko. Shot blocked by Vandermerve. Karolenko tries to keep it in. Vandermerve can't get it out of zone. Goes in front. Pad save. Puck kicked aside by Bywater. Battle for a puck in the corner. Caps bringing out their own zone. Here comes Malangeni. Malangeni crossing his own. No, he doesn't go in. Vervey. Vervey puts it in the corner as the Caps change. Here comes Thornton. Thornton in his own corner. Back to Compton. Compton just sends it clear. It should be icing. And it is. Puck and play will come back all the way into the Cap zone. Cats can't change, but the Capitals look to capitalize and get some fresh legs on the ice. It'll be Kleitz versus Ruthven in the face-off circle. Vandermerve always a threat if Kleitz can get back to him for a quick shot. Kleitz wins it to Vandermerve. Vandermerve across to Radu. Radu can't get it away. Puck still inside. Here comes Validus. Validus 2-on-2. Validus. Quick shot blocked by Fenter. Validus in the corner. Chased by Fenter. Validus controlling the puck. Spins and turns. Validus leaks it to Kleitz. Kleitz ahead to Fenter. Fenter will beat the icing. Gets there first. Fenter tries to put it back to Kleitz. Kleitz from the side. Centers it. Intercepted. Here comes Validus. Picked by Vandermerve. Back to Delport. Fenter on Delport. Delport rims it around the back to Compton. Compton from his own end. Long stretch packs to Validus. Validus puts it back to Compton as the Cats look to get something going. Long stretch pass to Redlinghuis. Redlinghuis at the Caps blue line. Taken in by Bremner. Bremner centers it. Nobody home. Here comes Fenter. 2-on-2. Fenter's got Skosan on the side. Fenter fans on a shot. Bremner puts it up to, loses a puck. It's Roger. Roger to Vandermerve. Here comes Delport. Delport up to, shoots it in and goes for a change. Van Rooyen battling on the corner. Collected by Vandermerve behind his own net. Vandermerve tries to get to Skosana. Gets out. Here's a 2-on-2. It's Paulson. Hard in the corner. Paulson centers it. No one home. Hard shot from Roger. Fans on it. And he's leveled by by Redlinghuis. Or sorry, by Van Rooyen. Here comes Vusi Skosana. That was no point. Centering it to Paulson. Goes wide. Compton. Hard shot. Can't get it out. Paulson and Compton can't get it out. Skosana and Sarah to Paulson. No. To Vervey. Vervey collected it at center ice. Across to Chu. Comes in. Shot. Wide by Pacati. Puck goes down to the end of the Caps ice. No icing. Vandermerve leaves it for Pacati. No, to Malangeni. Malangeni can't get past the forecheckers. Puck's in. Here's Ruthven. Shot by Karolenko. Another shot. Bywater had to be shot. And there will be a penalty against Jack Validus. 2 minutes for slashing. And the Caps will go on their first power play. At 9:59 of the first period, Captain Jack Validus We'll spend the next 2 minutes in the sin bin. Assistant Captain Bremner having a few words with referee Diego Bota. Bota explaining the call to Bremner. Face-off will be Kleitz versus Ruthven. With Vandenberg behind. Kleitz to Vandenberg. Shot! Good save by Mueller. Had to be sharp. Centered in front. Leaks out and all the way down the ice. Sean Fenter will collect it behind his own net. Fenter gaining steam. Crosses his blue line. Center ice. Looks to set it up. It's got Vandenberg. Mid-ice, Vandenberg back to Fenter behind the net. Intercepted by Bremner. Behind to Fenter. Fenter looking to pass. Fenter takes a shot, quick. Gloved by Mueller, who saw it the whole way. The Caps controlling possession, but no one in front of the net to screen, deflect, or grab a rebound. And Mueller safely gloved that and throws it for a face-off to the right of the keeper in the Cats zone. Face-off won by the Cats, who ice it down the ice. That was Bremner winning the draw. Collected by Vandenberg. Vandenberg intercepted. Here come the Cats. Vandenberg up to Picardi. Picardi breaks in. Centers it to Malangeni, who got hit hard in the center. Vandenberg regroups. Johan Vandenberg. Past his blue line. Long lead pass. Hits the back of Malangeni. Intercepted by Vervey. Vervey, quick shot. Saved by Mueller. Rimmed around by Compton. And it goes over the boards. And there'll be a face-off to the right of Mueller in the Cat zone with 22 seconds left in the penalty to Captain Jack Valadis, who's sitting out for slashing. So far the Caps have been unable to capitalize on their power play. Run by Kleitz. Back to the point. Put back to intercepted by Compton, who just dishes it out. Fenter loses it to Ruthven. Ruthven plays it back to Compton. 5 seconds left in the penalty. Long lead pass from Compton goes through. No icing. They're shorthanded. Valadis is back on the ice. 5-on-5 hockey. Radu, long shot on net. Easily stopped and frozen by Mueller to force a face-off in the right circle. 11 minutes, 14 seconds gone in the first period. The Cats are ahead 1-0 over the Capitals in the final game of the Gauteng leg of the SASL. Fenter versus Bremner. Fenter wins it. Weak shot by Paulson. Frozen by Mueller, who saw it the whole way. It was a good shot for a deflection, but no one was in front of Mueller. Rematch, Fenter-Bremner. Fenter, this time Bremner wins the draw. Bremner carrying it out. Over to Delport. Delport, long stretch pass. Comes back. Bremner to Delport. Over to Thornton. Long stretch pass for Redlinghase. Here comes Chris Fenter. Chris Fenter moving in. Weak shot intercepted by Redlinghase. Thornton headmans it to Bremner. Bremner crossing the ice. Tossed aside by Tion Vandenberg and held for a face-off by Bywater. Face-off will be the left of Bywater. Most of the action's been in the Cats' end, but they hold a 1-0 lead over the Pretoria Capitals with a little over 8 minutes to go in the opening stanza of this last game between these two teams before they head to Cape Town. Quick shot from the point, blocked by Malangeni. Battle for a puck in the corner. Van Rooyen and Picardi. Chu Chu controlling the puck. Oh, just sidestepped a big hit by Ruthven. There will be a penalty to somebody for slashing. It's going to be a second penalty. It's going to be against Lomor Van Rooyen, 2 minutes for slashing. That's Van Rooyen, 2 minutes for slashing at 12:22. And the second penalty for the Cats in the first period. So far the Capitals have a clean sheet. Face off in the Cap zone. Kleitz wins the draw. Back to the point. Radu fans out. Shoots again. Blocked by Delport, who got a stinger on the plane. Is going off to the bench. Should be okay. But Bremner jumps on. Sorry, Thornton jumps on in his mug. Here comes Fenter. Offside. Delport taking one for the team. Seems to be okay and is getting up and is hobbling a bit over there. Walking off the stinger. Face off outside the Cap zone. Taken back by Compton with Malangeni. Hot on his trails. Compton gets it out. Fanned on by Chu. Chu over to Vandermerve. Vandermerve had mans it for Picardi. Picardi with speed in the corner. Picardi centers it. Loose puck, scores! Picardi rimmed it around and centered it. It was deflected and came right back to him. And he made no mistake the second time with a hard wrist shot over the far glove side of goalkeeper Mueller to even the score at 1-1. Should be unassisted. Maybe there was assist. Unassisted? The Capitals' first goal scored by number 10, Dion Picardi, for their first goal of the night. Assisted, 2 assists on the play to number 13, Arthur Chu, and number 19, Tion Vandermerve, to level up the game. Here comes Vandermerve, breaking into the zone. Vandermerve centers it, far side to Fenter, shot wide, corralled by Fenter, puts it back. Fenter with a hard shot, saved by Mueller, who's lost his stick. Mueller without his stick, and the Caps can't capitalize. The puck goes down, not hard enough for icing. Radu in the corner. Radu across to Fenter. Fenter, headman's pass to Kleitz. Bit strong, intercepted by Karolenko. Now Fenter retrieves it. Fenter coming in. Delport. Thornton gets it out. Corralled by Kleitz. Kleitz. Over to Fenter. Back a little bit too strong. Intercepted by Thornton. Thornton at center. Dumps it in and goes for a change. Collected by Skosana. Skosana gaining speed. Skosana up to center ice. Breaks into the Cap zone. Skosana in the corner. Around the back of the net. Skosana behind to Kleitz. Can't control the puck. Picked up by Delport. Delport to Validus. Takes it in. Centers it to Ruthven. Can't get a shot away. Puck comes out. There's a penalty against the Caps. A delayed penalty. Mueller is going off. 6 attackers for the Cats. Ruthven takes it in. Cats battling for the pucks. The Capitals cannot control it. Finally, it's corralled by Riley Paulson, and there'll be a penalty against Tion Vandermerve. 2 minutes for hooking. At 14:59 of the first period, the Cats will go on their first power play to see if they can restore their one-goal advantage with a 5-on-4 man advantage for the next 2 minutes of play in this final quarter. Face-off won by the Caps, who get it out. Mueller collects the puck. Corrals it for Delport. Delport to Compton. Compton behind his own net. Compton leaves it to Validus. Validus up to Bremner. Bremner breaks into the blue line. Quick shot! Saved by Bywater, who had to be sharp on that hard shot from the point. The early stages of the power play. Caps trying to see if they can't restore that 1-goal lead. Face-off will be the left of Bremner. It'll be Bremner versus Kleitz. To the right of Bywater. Face-off won by Bremner. Rims it around to Thornton. Can't get it out. And the Caps ice it. Down the ice. Shot right on that. Mueller. Compton collects the puck. Mueller. A weak pass out to Bremner. Bremner back to Mueller. Circling back behind his own net. Compton to Validus. Validus skates out. Sends it across ice to Thornton. Thornton breaking in. Trying to set up in the Cap zone. Intercepted by Kleitz, who sends it down the ice. Race for the puck between Malagany and Validus. Validus gets there just ahead of Malagany. Validus behind his own net. Waiting for the Cats to set up. Cross ice to Bremner. Bremner across to Thornton. Thornton looking to pass. Head to Compton. Compton takes a quick confidence. Fans on a shot. Collected by Kleitz. Kleitz killing some time with 26 seconds left in the penalty. Here comes Picardi. Checked. Puck tossed aside by Thornton. Behind the net. Here comes Picardi. Shot. Goes wide. Vandermerver with a weak slap shot, misses the net. Here's Picardi in the corner. Picardi. There'll be a penalty against the Cats. End-to-end action with 4 seconds left in the penalty to Vandermerver. The Capitals will then go on their own power play with a third penalty of the period to assistant captain Dylan Compton. Compton, 2 minutes for slashing. It's the third slashing call at 16:55 of the first period. Validus making his case unsuccessfully to referee Van Rooyen. Face-off will be Ruthven versus Kleitz. Draw one by Ruthven, can't get it out. Quick shot in the corner. Vandermeer is back on the ice. It's a 5-4 man advantage to Pretoria. A deflected shot from the point, gloved by Mueller, but it was a high stick, and the face-off will come outside the Cap zone for that infraction by the Caps player. Kleitz versus Ruthven. Kleitz wins it cleanly, collected by Fenter at his own blue line. Fenter looking for a stretch pass to Vandermerver. Vandermerver to Fenter. Fenter rims it around the boards, collected by his brother John. Kleitz centers it, no one home, and Thornton just shoots it down the ice. Bywater steadies the puck, collected by Fenter. Fenter with momentum, gets by Ruthven. Fenter at center ice. Fenter setting up. Fenter can't get by Delport. Delport rims it around the side, collected by Kleitz, who anticipated that rim. Kleitz battling the corner, centers it, no one home. And Delport attempts to clear, but it's deflected out of play. Just under a minute gone in the 2-minute minor to Compton for slashing. The Caps will remain on the power play for the next minute. It'll be Vervey versus Bremner in the face-off circle to the right of Mueller. Van Rooyen lecturing Bremner about moving before the puck hits the ice. Bremner's telling him to drop the puck faster. Face-off won by Bremner. Delport can't get it out. Tries to send it over to Van Rooyen, but intercepted by Vandermerver. Vandermerver centers it. Stick saved by Mueller on the side, out in front. Delport, this time he makes no mistake, gets out center. Shot in by Picardi wide. Offside. Oh, icing actually. Might be offside or icing. It's icing. There were a couple Cap players still in the zone, but Pacati shot it before he reached the red line. It was offside. And so the face-off will be just outside the blue line and not at the other end of the ice. It'll be Pacati versus Bremner. Won by Bremner, but collected by Malangeni. Centers it! Oh, Vervey had a nice, but couldn't corral the puck. Vervey centers it again. No one home. Thornton in the corner. Thornton misses the puck. Vervey collects it in the corner. Back to Vandermerve. Vandermerve, quick shot. Blocked by Thornton. Puck in the corner. Vervey misses it. Collected by Validus. Shoots it around. Vandermerve corrals it and sends it back. Malangeni behind the net. Malangeni. Checked by Thornton. Vervey in the corner to the Vandermerve at the point. Vandermerve shot. Tossed aside with his blocker by Mueller. Here's Van Rooyen. Shoots it down. Stopped by Bywater. The teams are now 5-on-5. The Caps successfully killing that penalty. Long shift for Pretoria. Got to get a change. Here comes Vervey. Vervey puts it up to Malangeni. Pacati tries to reach for it. Validus to Ruthven. Ruthven back to Compton. Compton intercepted by Malangeni. Collected by Roger. Vandermerve can't get it out. It's in the feed along the boards. Leaks outside. Validus. Validus long stretch pass to Ruthven. Ruthven ahead to Compton. Compton crosses the blue line. Back pass to Bremner. Bremner going hard behind his net. Centers it! Oh, Compton had a wide open net. Just shot it over the keeper. Vandermerve tosses it down. Battle for the puck. Validus with Fenter. Ends of the period. A bit of rough stuff there at the end. A few words being exchanged. Nothing comes of it. At the end of the first period, it's a tie game, 1-1. The Pretoria Capitals and the Johannesburg Wild Cats. Goals for the Wildcats by Matthew Ruthven with assist to Werner Redlinghuis and Jack Validus. 3 penalties for the Cats. Lomar Van Rooyen, number 26. Jack Validus, the captain, number 44. And the assistant captain, Dylan Compton. 3 slashing penalties. For the Pretoria Capitals, the goal was scored by number 10, assistant captain Dion Pacati, with assist to number 13, Arthur Chu. And number 19, Tion Vandermerve. There was 1 penalty for the Capitals in the period. That was a 2-minute hooking penalty against Vandermerve. in the final matchup for the 2025 South Africa Super League tournament. Medics are a very important part of the game and the safety for our players, and over the course of the season there's lots of different injuries and events that the medics have to attend to. Boys, what's been some of the highlights of your time watching hockey games? Have you had any exciting injuries or saved any lives, or anything that stands out in the course of a season?
Yeah, well, I have to say most of the injuries are very dangerous actually, so yeah, a lot of concussions, but so far nothing serious, so we're happy. We're kind of happy for that.
Yeah,
No
been a
serious
good few games so far. Very interesting to watch. That's the best part of it.
And are you hockey players yourselves, or avid hockey fans?
Hockey fans, yes, but no
players, no.
No, our medical aid doesn't cover that as yet.
And what has sort of been the most challenging aspect of being a medic at these hockey games?
Yeah, that's a difficult question to answer, to put it this way.
I think it would be to calm them down.
No,
When it gets very
stay
heated.
neutral.
Yeah, and not picking sides, eh?
That's it. That's
Yeah.
it.
All right, the two medics for tonight's game playing a very important role in making sure the players stay safe, and when they need help is here as quickly as possible. We'll take another break and rejoin you shortly for the beginning of the second period. Welcome back to the beginning of the second period of the final Gauteng game in the South Africa Super League home and away series in the mother city, Cape Town, and Johannesburg. Josie, the city of gold, Igoli. Tonight we have an entertaining matchup. It's 1-1, tied between the Capitals and the Wild Cats. The two Gauteng-based Super League teams are about to begin the puck drop for the second period with Ruthven versus Pakadi. Ruthven wins the draw, but it's corralled by Malangeni. Malangeni chips it behind his net. Pakadi rims it around, picked up by Verve. Checked by Delport. Delport headmans it to Valdis all the way down, and it'll be icing. The play will come back into the Cat zone with a quick start to this second period. Face-off won by the Cats. Rim it around. Well collected. Pakadi. Pakadi tries to wrap around. Pakadi. 2 shots. 3 shots. Pucks in front. The Caps are banging away at it, but Mueller made 4 quick stops. But here comes Validus. Validus breaking down the right. Validus can't get a shot away. Collected by Vandermerver. Shoots it off. Too far for Pakadi. Collected by Thornton behind his net. Thornton to Redlinghace. Back to Thornton. Thornton chips off the boards to Validus, the captain. Validus, long stretch pass to Delport, being battled by Vandermerver. Delport and Vandermerver battling in the corner. A scrum just to the right of Bywater. Van Rooyen in the corner. Kolenko tries a shot, intercepted. Picked up by Chu. Chu tries to skate it out. Chu gaining momentum. Shoots it in, rims it around. Picked up by Thornton. Thornton puts it up to Kolenko. Kolenko headmans it. Quick shot by Bremner. Saved by Bywater, who saw it all the way. Face off will be the left of Bywater with a little over 2.5 minutes gone in the second period of this game. Ruthven versus Kleitz. Won by Ruthven. Back to the point. No shot. Shot on net. Rister got it off, but Bywater saw it the whole way. Thornton initially was going to do a slap shot, but under pressure had to pull up and wrist it. But Bywater saw it coming. Ruthven Kleitz. Won by Ruthven again. Kept in at the point by Compton. Collected by Vandermerver. Headmans it to Fenter. Fenter on a break. Fenter shoots. Saved by Mueller. Mueller wasn't sure where the puck was. Looked behind him. And Compton quickly came in behind his keeper to make sure that no puck leaked out across the line. A close call for the Caps on a good individual effort by Reinhard Fenter. Paulson versus Ruthven. Paulson wins the draw. Quick shot, blocked. Another shot, saved by Mueller. That was Reinhard Britz with 2 great shots. And Mueller had to be sharp to stop both of those. Again, not a lot of traffic in front. He saw both of them, but a good effort from the far slot. Capitals changing. It'll bring out Vervey versus Bremner. Bremner wins the faceoff to Compton. Compton behind his own net. Compton. Stretch pass to Bremner too far. Picatti wheels and turns. Van Rooyen's on him. Picatti dumps it in to Delport. Delport to Bremner. Bremner putting it up to Kolenko. Can't contain it. Here comes Chu. Chu to Vervey. Vervey wide, takes a shot. Blocked by Delport. Bremner turning and wheeling in his own zone. Bremner up to Compton. Compton tries to center it to Kolenko. Intercepted by Picatti. Picatti to Chu. Chu puts it up to Malangeni. Intercepted by Compton. Compton leaves it in the corner, no one's there. Chu rims around behind to Malangeni. Intercepted by Bremner. Bremner going for a skate. It's a 3-on-2. Capitals, Bremner breaking wide. Bremner can't find anyone open, dumps it in the corner. Kolenko centers it to Validus. Scores! Tic-tac-toe. Compton, Kolenko, and Validus. Top shelf on Bywater. Short side. Play resumes with the puck at mid-ice. Radu collecting the puck with a hard forecheck by Redlinghace. Comes out to Kleitz. Redlinghace. Kleitz has to circle back. Looking for a stretch pass. No. Gets around. Redling Hayes comes in. Quick shot by Validus. Kleitz can't get it out. Collected by Validus. Validus in the corner. Shot! Tipped just wide of the net by Bywater. That was earmarked for the top shelf. Bywater just got a piece of it. Otherwise, that would be a second quick marker for Validus. Here comes Vandermerve. Vandermerve breaking up his own. Cross ice pass for Fenter. Picked off by Thornton. Here comes Validus again. Validus in the zone. Can't get by Rideau. Rideau headmans it to Fenter. Fenter breaking into the zone. Fenter going hard wide. Fenter behind the net. Fenter centers it. Good intercepting pass by Mueller. Here comes Validus. Validus beat Vandermeer. Validus coming in. Gets around Roger. Validus shoots. Scores! Validus! His second goal. Back to back. In a tremendous individual effort by Captain Jack Validus. We'll see if there's any assists. Unassisted, a spectacular individual effort by Validus, who got around two Capitals players to beat Bywater on the far side. Bywater got a piece of it, but it just went under his glove. And it's now 3-1, a quick lead established by the Capitals. Behind the net is Compton, brings it out in front. Compton up to Bremner. Bremner also going through to, Bremner caught with a high stick. Let's see if he draws blood or not. Doesn't look like it. Looks like it'll be a 2-minute minor to number 5, Josh Roger. 2 minutes for high sticking at 6:54 of the second period. That's Roger, 2 minutes for high sticking at 6:54. Face-off will be to the left of Bywater. It'll be Picardi versus Ruthven. A 5-on-4 man advantage for the Capitals. Looking to extend the lead, won by the Capitals. Put back to the point, Compton across to Delport. Quick shot! High! Collected by Picardi, who's got wheels. Picardi loses it. Picked up by Malangeni. Malangeni breaking in. Passes it wide. Van Rooyen. Caps breaking out quickly. Van Rooyen. Long stretch pass to Kawalenko. Can't handle it. Puck stays in the center. Here comes Picardi. Picardi breaking down. He's got shot. Saved by Mueller. The good individual effort by Dion Picardi. With about a minute and a half left in the penalty to Roger. Face-off will be in the Cats zone to the right of goalkeeper Ivan Mueller. Both teams changing. It'll be Vandermerve against Bremner. Van Rooyen up to Validus. Validus can't get it out. In the corner, Thornton puts it up and out. Collected by Fenter. Fenter wheels. Fenter. Puck leaks back into the Cap zone. Collected by Vandermerve. Shoots it down the ice. Chased by Chris Fenter. Chris Fenter. No one challenged him. Chris Fenter behind his net. Wheeling. Fenter. In front, no one there. Gets a shot on net. Puck in front. Thornton can't get it out. Long stretch pass to Validus. Inside the zone. Centers it. Intercepted by Vandermerve. Devon Vandermerve shoots it out. Collected by Radu, who puts it back to John Fenter. Shot down the ice. Collected by Compton, the far side. Plays it over to Thornton. Thornton, long stretch pass. High stick by Kleitz. Trying to intercept a long stretch pass to Ruthven. The penalty has expired. The teams are 5-on-5. Timeout by the Capitals. The Capitals have exercised their 30-second timeout. Both teams coming back on the ice. It'll be Malangeni against Bremner in the face-off. Won by Malangeni, but collected by Compton. Compton in front of his net. Dishes it out. High pass, can't be corralled by Van Rooyen, who chases Chu into the corner. Chu wheels and comes out of his corner. Long stretch pass to Vervey. Vervey coming in, looking for a quick shot in the corner. Tries to center. Intercepted by Compton. Vervey centers it. Then sent to Chu. Chu shoots. Good save by Mueller. Rimmed around by Malangeni. Collected by Thornton. Thornton chips it up to Van Rooyen. Intercepted by Vandermerve. Vandermerve shoots it behind his own net to Chu. Chu can't corral the pass. Intercepted by Bremner. Bremner wheeling behind. Bremner checked by Chu. Shot from the point, gloved by Bywater, who holds it for a face-off to his left. Both teams changing. Lights will take the face-off against Ruthven. Ruthven wins the draw, but it's corralled by Venter. Thornton. Vandermerve crosses into the Cap zone. Vandermerve takes a hard shot. Good save by Mueller, not leaving him any space on that short side. Venter rims it around to Vandermerve. Vandermerve up to Radu. Radu, quick shot through traffic. Deflected, hit Stefan Kleitz, didn't get through. Venter. Venter tries to get to Kleitz. Picked off by Thornton, who rims it around. Radu intercepts it, but it goes out. Battle for the puck between Redling-Hayes and Venter. Here comes Ruthven. Delport plays it back to Thornton. Thornton headmans to Redling-Hayes. Redling-Hayes to Validus. Validus, weak shot to the center. Intercepted by Venter. Now Vandermerve dumps it in to the Cat zone. Delport being chased by Venter. Thornton, long shifts. Centering pass intercepted by Ruthven. Vandermerve puts it behind the net. And the puck goes out. Could be icing. No, waved off by referee Van Rooyen as the Cats and the Capitals change. It's Radu from behind his own net. A long stretch pass to Skasana, who tips it in. Icing waved off. Compton chased by Skasana. Compton in the corner, back to Bremner. Bremner to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen, long stretch. Royer circles back. Van Rooyen to Compton. Compton rims it to Delport. Chased by Skasana. Delport all the way up to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen shoots it. Partially blocked, goes in the corner. Puck to the circle, kept in by Delport. Battle for the puck behind the net. Kawalenko and Roger. Van Rooyen puts it up to his defenseman, too strong. Here comes Compton, chased by Paulson. Delport, long stretch pass to Van Rooyen coming in. Quick shot, Van Rooyen! Saved by Bywater. Van Rooyen got that shot off quickly as 2 Capitals were tracking him down and closing the separation on that partial breakaway. Good solid shot and a good solid save by Bywater. Face off to the left of Bywater, one cleanly. Compton from the point, shot, saved by Bywater. They'll do it all over again with little over 17 minutes to go in the second period. The score is 3-1, the Wildcats over the Capitals. Face off one to Compton. Weak shot from the point, broke his stick. Compton broke his stick on the shot and lost some juice. Bywater had to be sharp to adjust for the lower velocity of that shot. As Compton goes off and Delport comes on for the Wildcats. Picardi versus Ruthven. Ruthven wins it again to Validus. Double clutched, didn't get a shot away. Validus, quick shot, saved by Bywater. Cats being very successful in winning the face-offs and getting some shots off, keeping the pressure on goalie Alistair Bywater. With a little over 13 minutes gone in the second period. Bremner wins the draw to Delport. Shot blocked by Fenter. Here comes Validus. Validus. Long stretch pass to Thornton. Thornton headmans it. Here comes Ruthven. Ruthven splitting the D. Taken out by Radu. Keeps the puck in. Fenter rims. Puck over. Ruthven. Ruthven shot. Saved by Bywater, who snagged it in between his arm and his body. The glove failed to be, managed to close the gap and just squeeze that puck tight between his body and his arm to keep the score 3-1. Bremner versus Kleitz. Bremner wins again. Quick shot, deflected high over the net. Shot back by Bremner. Sharp save by Bywater. Comes out. Headman to Vandermerver. Vandermerver, quick shot. Blocked by Compton. Compton rims it around to Radu at the point. Radu shoots it out of play. And the face-off should be outside the zone as it was shot out of bounds by a Caps player. Ruthven versus Picardi. Ruthven wins it out clearly to Delport, who just shoots it down the ice. It's Vandermerver. Vandermerver is on zone, looking for speeding Picardi. Picardi takes it. Passes a bit behind him, he regroups. Gives it back to Vandermerver, who dumps it in the corner. Collected by Delport. Rims it around to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen gets it out and goes and fetches it. Verve, collected by Bremner. Back to Compton. Back to Bremner. Bremner skating it out. Bremner. There'll be a penalty against the Caps. I think it'll be Picardi. 2 minutes for... Could be tripping or interference. Hooking. Number 10, Dion Picardi will go off. 2 minutes for hooking. The time of that penalty, 14:23. And the Cats will go on the power play for the next 2 minutes and try and extend their lead over the Pretoria Capitals. The 9-player Wildcats standing up very well to the 17-player Capitals so far towards the end of the second period. Validus takes a quick shot, deflected wide, and Fenter shoots the puck down the ice. Mueller has to play it with a streaking John Fenter. It's kept in. Fenter takes a quick shot from the side. Blocker saved by Mueller. Out to Ruthven. Can't collect it. Radu, long stretch pass to Fenter. Fenter the blue line. Fenter beats Thornton. Quick pass to Vandermerver. And he scores! A short-handed tally. Brings the gap to 1. Devon Vandermerver with his first goal of the evening. Definitely assist to Reinhard Venter, and there could be a second assist on that play. We'll find out. Radu Guillaume also gets an assist, the second assist on that goal. So it's Vandermerwe from Venter and Radu closing the gap with the Cats, who remain on the power play for just over the next minute. Collected by Mueller to Van Rooyen, who taps it to Bremner. Bremner wheels with some speed up the center, being chased by Skasana. Bremner enters his zone. Bremner can't get by Vervey, who sends it down the ice. Kept in by Vervey. Shot. Saved by Mueller with a strong forecheck by the Capitals, keeping the Cats on the back foot. 44 seconds left in the penalty to Picardi, but the pressure's all been from the Caps, who you think would be on the power play, not the other way around. Face-off will be to the right of Mueller. It'll be Ruthven versus Vandermerwe. Ruthven wins the draw. Turned over to Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe in the corner. Shot! Saved by Mueller. Thornton in the corner. Thornton up to Validus. Validus. Stretch pass to Ruthven. Ruthven. Shot! Blocked by John Venter. Ruthven. Can't get it. It's a 2-on-1. It's Vandermerwe. Passes behind Mueller. Shot! Good pad save by Mueller. Collected by Ruthven, who just dunched it out to Thornton. Radu taps it back. Validus. End-to-end action. Here comes Venter. Venter short-handed. Venter shot. Saved by Mueller. Venter in the corner. Gets by Compton. Venter around to Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe. Vandermerwe tries to get it up to Venter. Can't do it. Here comes Picardi. Picardi and Compton battling in the corner. Compton puts it up high. Intercepted by Venter. Venter. Oh, no call on that collision. Quick shot blocked by Validus. Another shot to the point. Intercepted by Compton, who just shoots it down the ice on net. 5-on-5 hockey now. The penalty has expired with end-to-end action in this last matchup between these two teams. Here comes Delport. Can't control the puck. Vervey. Vervey, long stretch pass to Radu. There's a 2-on-1. Malangeni to Kleitz. Good pad save by Mueller. There is a penalty coming up to the Capitals. Malangeni, 2 minutes for slashing. At 17:20 of the second period. Number 15. Malangeni was in on a strong forecheck, but just caught the hands of the Caps player, causing the penalty. Assistant Captain Vandermerwe having a few words with referee Van Rooyen, pressing his case without success. Face-off will be to the left of Bywater. It'll be Bremner versus Kleitz. Bremner wins the draw. Can't get it back though. Intercepted by Skasana. Skasana on a quick break. Skasana streaking outside, shoots. Saved by Mueller, who had to be sharp on that shot from the streaking Vusi Skasana. 8 seconds into the penalty to Malangeni. The face-off will be to the right of Mueller. Face-off won by Kleitz. Taken by Van Rooyen, far side. Van Rooyen looking to get set up on the power play. Skates it out. Dishes it off to Delport. Delport, long stretch pass for Bremner to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen can't get a shot away. Vervey intercepted. Shoots it down the ice. Collected by Delport, who puts it across to Bremner. Bremner to Thornton. Thornton, long slap shot. Deflected by Picardi. Centering pass. Good shot. Good save by Bywater. And Picardi puts it out and down the ice. Collected by Mueller for Ruthven. Ruthven tries to get fancy. Intercepted by Skosana. Centers it to Kleitz. Kleitz tries to get it back to Skosana. Intercepted. There is a penalty to the Capitals. Compton. Here goes Mueller. 6-on-4 hockey right now. Finally, it's touched by the Caps. Skosana will get a 2-minute penalty for hooking. That's number 18, Vusi Skosana. 2 minutes for hooking at 18:37 of the second period. And it'll be a 5-on-3 man advantage. Let's see if the Caps can't restore the 2-goal lead with 1 minute and 23 seconds to go in the second period. It'll be Ruthven versus Kleitz to the right of Bywater. Ruthven wins it straight to Valdis. Valdis shoots. Bywater had to be sharp with his glove on a strategic shot by Valdis that was squared by the Capital City keeper. Faceoff will now be to the left of Bywater. Ruthven versus Kleitz. Kleitz wins the draw. Venter can't get it out, but his brother, Reinhard Venter, shoots it down the ice. Compton coming out of his own zone. Forecheck by John Venter gets a piece of it. Valdis can't get back to Compton. 20 seconds left in the penalty. Here, here's a breakaway for Bremner. Bremner, come in, Bremner. Can't. Oh, Bywater gets a stick out, but it comes back. Bremner couldn't put it away, but he followed up on the play. And there'll be an additional penalty to John Venter, the captain, for unsportsmanlike conduct. Being argued hard by his brother Reinhardt. So there was 9 seconds left in one penalty, which will expire with the goal, but then the Caps will go on to keep their 2-man advantage for the rest of the period. Oh, they keep a 1-man advantage. It's a misconduct, sorry. I'll wait to hear from the ref. Whether it's a 2, a 10, Two minutes. Two though. Yeah. It is a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct, which restores the 5-on-3 advantage for the Cats. Let's see if the Cats can't put one more. There's 40 seconds left. Here's Valdis in the corner. Valdis being battled hard. Here comes Vervey. Vervey. A strong individual effort in the corner. Vervey centers it. No one home. Delport puts it up to Ruthven. A 2-on-2, 3-on-2. Blade breaking. Puck stays inside. Here's Bremner. Bremner puts it back to the point to Delport. Delport. Delport keeps it in play. Delport to Bremner. Puck's loose in front. Can't keep it out. It leaks out now. Here comes Vervey. Vervey circles. Intercepted by Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen. Shot. Deflected by Vandermerver. And we'll end the period with a 3-2 advantage. Cats over the Capitals, with 2 men for the Capitals remaining in the sin bin. Number 18, Vusi Skosana, still has 38 seconds left in his penalty for for hooking, and Captain John Venter has 1 minute and 12 seconds left in his 2-minute misconduct. The last goal, the go-ahead goal, scored by the Wildcats, was scored by number 7, Devon Vandermerver, assisted by number 14, Reinhard Venter, who centered it back, and number 16. Oh, sorry, that's the wrong team. Yeah, you gave me the wrong. Yeah.
21.
Okay, that last goal. That I was giving you the previous goal for the Capitals. The last goal for the Wildcats was scored by number 10, Matthew Ruthven, assisted by number 21, Gareth Bremner. Let's take a short break and we'll come back with a special guest for the second period intermission. Over there, right? So you gotta look that way. Okay. All right, welcome to the second intermission of this last matchup between these two Gauteng-based super clubs, featuring the rubber match between these two teams, the Johannesburg Wild Cats and the Pretoria Capitals. I'm joined by special guests, Aline Murray and Sasha Cripps, who are part of the leadership group of the Wildcats and also the Sabres Hockey Club. Let's start with you, Aline, and just tell us a little bit, what does it mean to run a hockey club in South Africa?
I think it means that you got to have a lot of heart. Yeah, got to have like a passion and a love for this game, to be honest, to be able to keep playing and to also be involved. I'd say you don't be involved if you're not in love with this game.
And you're a player yourself. You're on the women's team, and what does it mean to be a woman hockey player in the country?
It's honestly such an honor to be representing your country and also to be playing with like-minded individuals who also have a passion for the game, a passion for the country. We play for each other, we play for the sport, the greater good of the sport, and yeah, it's just such a great camaraderie. It's a sisterhood. A lot of effort goes into the preparation, I would say, with the squad camps and also conditioning, but I would say overall we're just doing it because we love the game.
And the women's team this year will be traveling to Estonia to Tallinn, the capital, which has a lovely Christmas market, by the way. How are you guys preparing for that tough, what's going to be for sure a tough tournament?
Yeah, I would say we have taken a lot of reflection from previous years, and we do know that we need to work on our fitness. We need to work on being better on the ice, and we just need to obviously take lessons. There's no losses here, just lessons. Yeah.
And Sasha Krips. Sasha is the daughter of Springbok legend and one of the godfathers of South African ice hockey, Eddie Compton, who we unfortunately lost earlier this year. But you're continuing his legacy with one of the oldest hockey clubs in Gauteng.
100%. Obviously, my brother still plays, so I have stepped in. I was in the ring for many, many years and then had a family, so sort of disappeared for a bit. And now that unfortunately my dad's not here anymore, I will stand by my brother's side as long as he wants to do this.
And what makes the Sabres stand out as a hockey club? Tell us a little bit about the culture at the Sabres.
So I think we're very family orientated. I mean, my dad started the club for my brother, and he's always wanted to have the little ones sort of growing from the age of 4, 5, 6 years old and eventually making the national team. So I think for me it's about growing the younger ones up into getting into the national team, and ultimately the end goal, I suppose, that would be there.
And we've seen you around the rink with some little ones. Would there be possibly a third generation of Comptons joining the national team in a few years?
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, Jaden absolutely loves it. He practices he already asked me, is he playing tonight? So he absolutely loves it. It's a pity my dad didn't get to see it, but hopefully he will continue the legacy. It's definitely in his blood.
Sasha Krips and Alain Murray, a part of the leadership group at the Sabres Ice Hockey Club, and also Alain, very active as a player and a part of the leadership group of women's hockey in South Africa. Thank you both for joining me in the second intermission.
Thank you so much.
Still hold the shape of our planes. The skyline feel
Welcome back to the beginning of the third period in this rubber match between the Pretoria Capitals and the Johannesburg Wild Cats. The score is 4-2 in favor of the Cats over the Capitals. The 9-player Cats taking it to the 17-member Capitals after 2 periods of play, and they'll begin the third period with a 2-man advantage for the next 38 seconds with Vusi Skosana in the sin bin for hooking. And their captain, John Venter, got about a little over a minute left in his 2-minute penalty for unsportsmanlike misconduct. Skosana now joining his teammate in the sin bin as the puck's about to drop for the third period. It'll be Ruthven versus Kleitz at center ice as the puck drops to begin play. Kleitz wins the draw. Too much for Radu to handle. Chased hard by Validus. Radu rims it around the corner. Collected by Thornton. Thornton looking to search, decides to shoot. Shoots wide. Far side. Puck comes to Fenter. Radu, long stretch back to Fenter. Fenter breaking in. Fenter can't get a shot away. Corrals the puck in the corner. Picked up by Bremner. Bremner wheeling. The penalty is about to expire to Skosana, and then it'll be a 5-on-4 man advantage to the Caps for the next 50 seconds. Back to the point. To Ruthven. Ruthven at the point. Ruthven looking to pass. Ruthven far side to Compton, who can't get it off. Compton behind the net to Thornton. Thornton checked by Skosana. Puck loose in the corner. Skosana shot down the ice by Kleitz. On net, saved by Mueller. 17 seconds left in the penalty to Venter. Validus, the captain, long stretch pass to Bremner. Bremner breaks it across the ice. Bremner passes to Validus. Validus tries to get back to Bremner. Kleitz intercepts. Comes to Picardi. Picardi shoots it down the ice. Venter is back on the ice. We're playing 5-on-5 hockey. Venter in the corner. Centered it! Shot! A great save by Mueller on Picardi with a centering effort by Venter right out of the box. Mueller had to be sharp to keep the 2-goal Cats lead early in this third period. It'll be Bremner versus Picardi to the right of Mueller. Won by Picardi, but he can't control it. Puck goes out. Vandermerver. Karolenko in the corner with Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen and Vandermerver battling hard. Karolenko emerges with the puck. Can't get to the point. Chu. Karolenko keeps it. Thornton keeps it in. Karolenko in the corner. Comes back to Vervey. Vervey chips it off the boards to Picardi. To Malangeni. Malangeni streaking down the ice. Malangeni breaking in. Checked by Bremner. Malangeni rims it around the back. Picardi goes in. Bremner puts it up to Van Rooyen. Could be icing. It is. And the puck comes back for a face-off inside the Cat zone with 2.5 minutes gone in the third and final stanza of this contest. Shots after 2 periods are 31-9 in favor of the Capitals. Clean draw to Radu, shoots. To Fenter. Clean shot. Mueller saw that all the way. No traffic in front. And they'll now take a face-off to the left. There'll be Kleitz versus Ruthven. Bit of a mixed draw. Taken by Redlinghurst. Tries to get out. Radu puts it back in. Offside. Skosana was inside when he touched the puck, but it shouldn't have been an offside. So the face-off will be at center ice. Kleitz against Ruthven. Ruthven wins the draw. Back to Compton. Compton to Delport. Delport up to Redlinghurst. Back to Delport. Long stretch pass to Validus. Validus coming in. Shoots it. Easy save by Bywater, but rebounds out in front. Bywater tried to play it behind the net, but a quick whistle by referee Jason Van Rooyen freezes the puck with a face-off to the left of Bywater. Ruthven versus Kleitz. Round 3. Won by Ruthven. Gets it back to the point, but intercepted by Fenter. Fenter can't corral it. Shot in by Compton. Fenter out to Skosana. Delport gives Skosana a good nudge. Reinhard Fenter can't get by Compton. Compton over to Delport. Delport selling it down. Headmans it. Too far for Ruthven. Tip play, no icing. Radu and Delport battle. Radu comes away with it. Radu to Fenter. Fenter puts it up for Kleitz. Broken up by the Cats, who put it out. Fenter can't get it. Here comes Delport on the rebound. Delport forwards it to Van Rooyen. Van Rooyen centers it back. Blocked by the Caps. Fenter behind his net. Chased by Bremner. Good battle between these two national team players. Comes back up to the point. Too much for Thornton to handle. Compton behind his own net. Checked by Vervey. Compton over to Thornton. Thornton looking for a long stretch pass. No one there. Puck comes out to center ice. Karolenko headmans it to Van Rooyen. Checked by Vandermerver. Headmans it, intercepted by Bremner. Here comes Picatti, shoots! Sharp save by Mueller on the turnover. Puck goes back to Chu. Chu, headmans it to Vervey. Vervey, intercepted by Thornton. Thornton headmans it to Validus. Validus can't get by Vandermerver. Puck goes over the boards, and there'll be a face-off just outside the Capital zone. With 13:45 left in the final period of play. Face-off won by Ruthven over Kleitz. Shot in by Thornton, easy stop by Bywater. Collected by Radu. Radu chased by Karolenko. Fenter in the corner. Looking for a stretch pass up to Skosana. Headmans it to Kleitz. Misses it. Should be icing. No. Kept in and then put out. Back to Radu. Radu to Fenter. Back to Radu. Radu over to Fenter, who chips it in shallow, and the Cats put it back out. Fenter wheels offside. Skosana hadn't gotten out of across the blue line, and there'll be a face-off just outside the Cats' blue line with 7 minutes and 15 seconds gone in the third period. Face-off won by the Cats. Thornton looking for a long stretch pass. Nobody home. Bremner wheeling. Headman passes to Van Rooyen. Offside. Shots have now been adjusted. At the end of the second period, shots are in favor of the Pretoria Capitals, 31-24 over the Cats. Compton plays it into his zone. Chased by Karolenko, who puts the puck into the corner. Vervey lifts it a little too hard for Picatti. But Compton chips it over the boards for a stoppage of play just outside the Caps' blue line. Just approaching the halfway marker of the third period, the score is 4-2. The Johannesburg Wild Cats over the Pretoria Capitals. Here's Skosana in the corner, wheeling, Skasana plays it back to Kleitz. Kleitz centers it. Fenter, weak shot. Saved by Mueller, who corrals the rebound before any Cap players can get in front of the net. In their first meeting of the 2025 Super League Series, the Capitals prevailed 8-6 in an exciting game as they were leading 7-4 with under 2 minutes to go when the Cats came roaring back and scored 2 quick goals before an empty net goal by the Caps sealed the victory 8-6. Another close contest tonight, currently a 2-goal lead in favor of the Cats. Pressure at the point. Fenter shoots. Pad save by Mueller through traffic. Intercepted and put out by the Cats. John Fenter crosses, takes a shot, almost gets through the 5-hole of Mueller. He had to look down and look twice as that low missile almost beat Mueller in the 5-hole, but he just got enough of it to keep it out and maintain the 4-2 lead in favor of the Cats. It'll be Bremner versus Picardi in the face-off circle to the left of Mueller. Won by Bremner, rimmed around by Thornton. Van Rooyen and Shu battling. Picked up by Bremner. Loose puck. Back to Van Rooyen. Plays it back to Thornton. Good chase by Picardi. Hustling. Picardi gets the puck. Picardi keeps it in. Vandermerver, Johan rims it around. Vervey centers it. No one home. Corralled by Bywater and collected by Johan Vandermerver. Skates up with Bremner, chasing him hard. Bremner lost his stick. Oh, there was a penalty coming up to the Cats. Bywater's left his net. It's 6-on-5 hockey. It'll be a holding against Gareth Bremner, number 21. 2 minutes for holding at 10:58. And the Caps will go on a power play at 9:02 left in the third period. See if they can tie it up. Back to Redu, quick shot, goes wide. Lots of action, pucks goes out of play. Now there will be another penalty for hooking, it looks like. There's 1:22 left in the penalty to Bremner. No penalty. Might have been a high stick or another infraction. Remains 5-on-4 for the next 1 minute and 22 seconds. Draw won by the Cats. Played by Bywater. Out on the boards to Malangeni. Too much to handle. Yeah, there is a penalty being called. Tripping. Thornton drew a penalty. Tion Vandermerver will now come into the box. Number 19. 2 minutes for tripping at 11:59 of the third period. That's his second penalty of the game, having served 2 minutes for holding earlier in the game. So we'll play 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute as Bremner. Here comes Fenter. Fenter, one-on-one against Delport. Shoots! Again, Mueller, unsure of where that puck is. A low bullet seemed to get through the front of the pads, but just didn't have enough momentum to cross the goal line. But Mueller looking down, not very confident of where that puck ended up. 4-on-4. Validus versus Kleitz. Kleitz wins it. Shot by Fenter. Fans on it. Rims it around the boards. Intercepted by Delport. Can't get it out. Fenter. Weak shot. Here's Kleitz in front. Kleitz shoots. Good save by Mueller. And pad saves. Oh, a bit of rough stuff. Oh, here we go. Kleitz and Delport. Radu jumps in there. Validus are separating. Validus takes Delport away. And cooler heads prevail. But there was a loose puck before Mueller quickly grabbed it and put his hand over it to draw the whistle. Kleitz versus Validus. Won by Kleitz. To the point, John Fenter shot. Tossed aside by Mueller. Radu rims it around the back to Kleitz. Too much to handle. Here comes Compton. Compton can't get it out. Fenter at the point. Fenter shoots. Deflected by Delport wide before it got to the goal. Van Rooyen to the side. Delport. Fenter. Quick shot. Misses the net. Goes wide. And the Caps shoot down the ice. No icing. Waved off. And now the referee, realizing it's 4-on-4, is going to put this at center ice, or he's going to put it in the zone. I think there's a discussion. Compton needs to get back on the ice. It'll be Picardi versus Ruthven. Picardi drops it forward, tries to center it back, picked up by Redlinghace, who puts it out. Chased by Ruthven. Skasana gets it ahead to Van der Merwe, shoots it wide. 4-on-4 hockey for the next 16 seconds. Collected by Compton, chased by Skasana, plays it over to Thornton. Intercepted by Van der Merwe. Van der Merwe crossing line. Quick shot. Swallowed by Mueller. With 3 seconds left in the penalty to Gareth Bremner. And then the Cats will go on a less than a minute man advantage until Van der Merwe steps back on the ice. Face off to the left of Mueller. Ruthven versus Kleitz. Won by Kleitz, back to the point. Fenter, quick shot, tipped by Kleitz. Great save by Mueller. What a set piece off the face-off. John Fenter shooting it softly so Kleitz could deflect it. And a brilliant deflection right into the lower pads of Mueller. Can't do it again. Saw by Thornton, who just tosses it out. Radu to Fenter, chased by Bremner, who's out of the box. It's a 39-second man advantage for the Cats, but the puck's being controlled by the Capitals. Sends it to Fenter. Fenter, shot wide, deflected. Battle in the corner, Picardi. There will be another penalty. This time against, no. Huh? There's some discussion. I don't. There's a bit of confusion now. There is a penalty against the Cats for holding Compton, number 77. There's a really big discussion about that call, but Compton will go off. 77, his second penalty of the night, 2 minutes for holding, having served an earlier penalty for slashing. With Vandermerwe still in the box for another 30 seconds, it'll be more 4-on-4 hockey just over halfway through the period. Puck's out by, it should be icing. I don't know what they're doing. It's 4-on-4 hockey. That's the second time that icing was waved off and then had to be called. Puck comes back into the one by Kleitz, back to Fenter. Fenter shot blocked, picked up by Kleitz. Kleitz centers it. Oh, Fenter couldn't get a shot away. Here comes Bremner, one man to beat. Here comes Bremner. Pacati will get a penalty for interference. Absolutely. Yeah. Pacati arguing his case. The crowd reacting with great displeasure to referee Van Rooyen's call. Pacati, number 10, 2 minutes for interference. Bremner tried to get by him, and Pacati slowed him down a little bit too much. Captain John Fenter having words with Van Rooyen to understand the call. So it'll be a very, very short power play for the Cats for 4 seconds until Tiaan Vandermerwe jumps back on the ice. And then we'll have more 4-on-4 hockey for the next minute and a half. Delport shoots it down the ice into the corner. Fenter, the captain, shoots it down. Here's his brother, Reiner Fenter, shoots! Wide, picked up by Vandermerwe. It's starting to get rough, ladies and gentlemen. Here's Validus on Fenter. Validus centers it. Picked up by Bremner. Can't get a shot away. There'll be a penalty. Another penalty against the Capitals. As soon as they touch this puck. No! It's against... Yes, it is. Tripping against number 9, John Fenter. John Fenter will get 2 minutes for tripping at 14:23 of the third period. It'll be 4-on-3 hockey for the next minute of play, and then it will be 5-on-3 hockey for about 2 minutes after that. A shot from the point. Thornton goes wide. Cats can't keep it in. Collected by Delport. Delport behind his own net. Tempers are flaring. The crowd is into the action in a tight 4-2 game. Wildcats over. There'll be a misconduct call against Stefan Kleitz for the Capitals. Referee Van Rooyen. Kleitz was mouthing off the official, and he draws a 2-minute unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. Number 8, Kleitz. A 10-minute misconduct. So they won't suffer a man disadvantage, but they'll lose Kleitz for the next 10 minutes of play. That 10-minute misconduct, that puts him out for the game. Here's a breakaway. Here they come, shoots, saved by Mueller. No, there's a penalty or a goal. It's a goal. Ladies and gentlemen, this game has gotten so ruckus. Now the refs are conferring. No goal. Penalty shot. There will now be a penalty shot in favor of the Capitals. Wow, what a third period. anyone on the bench, right? Very interesting choice by the Capitals. They picked number 18, Vusis Kosana, to take the penalty shot. Even though Coach Frank Redu could choose anyone from the bench to take the shot, they've elected to go with the youngster, Vusis Kosana, number 18, to take the shot. Showing great confidence in the youngster against the veteran goaltender Mueller. At the ref's whistle, Skosana will skate forward and try and close the gap, half the gap, and make it a one-goal game with 5 minutes to go in the third period. Amazing turn of events in the game. Here comes Skosana. Skosana from center ice, taking his time, breaking to the right. Skosana coming in. Skosana shoots wide! High over the blocker side of Mueller, no goal! So just to clarify where we are now, the score is 4-2. Wildcats over the Capitals with 5 minutes to go in the game. We have Dylan Compton in the sin bin, the captain of the Cats, for the next 33 seconds. Then we have number 10, Dion Picard, in the box for another 55 seconds. Then we have the captain, number 9, John Fenter, in the box for another 1 minute and 33 seconds. And assistant captain Stefan Kleitz is out of the game with a 10-minute unsportsmanlike misconduct. Here comes Van Rooyen, streaking down the side. Van Rooyen can't get by Vervey. So we have 4-on-3 hockey right now. Here comes Bremner. Straight Bremner. Shot! Saved! Rebound! Cleared by Picadi. By Malangeni, sorry. Back to Thornton. Thornton in his own end. Compton's jumping back on. It's now 5-on-3 hockey. Vervey shorts it down the ice. Delport collects his own. 5-on-3 advantage to the Cats. Good forecheck by Reinhard Fenter. Delport up to Ruthven. Ruthven setting it up. Ruthven, long pass. Thornton couldn't shoot. Shot around the boards by the Caps. Collected by Picadi. Picadi puts it out to center ice. Collected by Thornton with Fenter being a menace. Rimmed around to Validus. Validus back to Delport. Delport wheels. Delport trying to outskate Picadi. Not going to happen. Puck shot down the ice. It will be icing. With 14 seconds left in the penalty to Captain John Fenter, the score remains 4-2. Wildcats in favor of the Capitals with 3 minutes and 50 seconds left in the game. An exciting and wild third period featuring numerous penalties, tempers flaring, and a penalty shot in this third period. It'll be Fenter versus Ruthven. Skosana lost his neck guard. He's going to be escorted off the ice. He's not allowed to stay on the ice even though he's replaced it until the puck drops. Vervey will come on to replace Skosana on right wing. Face off to the left of Mueller, with Fenter ready to jump on in 14 seconds. Face off won by Ruthven. Ruthven skids out. It's a 3-on-1. Here come the Cats. Ruthven. Shot blocked by Picadi. Puck behind the net, sealed by Bywater, drawing a face-off to the right of the goalkeeper. 4 seconds left in the penalty to Fenter. Assistant Captain Compton, very well aware of that, and knows Fenter's a dangerous threat if he jumps over the bench if the Caps manage to win the draw. Reinhard Fenter taking the face-off. He'll know his brother's ready to jump the boards. Face-off won by the Cats. And there's a penalty. A penalty coming up to the Cats. Number 13, Robert Kowalenko. 2 minutes for interference. That's Kowalenko, 13, 2 minutes for interference at 16:27 of the third period. This will be very interesting now. The Capitals will go on the power play for over half the time left in the game. Let's see if the Caps can make something of it and narrow the 2-goal margin on the power play. Picardi versus Bremner. Bremner wins the draw. Battle for the puck in the corner. Puck leaks out. Van Rooyen chasing it with Radu. Van Rooyen. Radu, a big collision. Oh! Radu takes down Van Rooyen and will draw a penalty. No! No! Van Rooyen draws the penalty. There'll be a 2-man advantage for the Caps as 26 Lomar Van Rooyen, 2 minutes for cross-checking at 16:41 of the third period. So Kowalenko and Van Rooyen in the box. What a turn of events. It's now 5-on-3 hockey for the Caps. Face-off won by Picardi. Behind the net. Picardi wheeling. Picardi. Picardi, the puck leaked outside the blue line. Offside. Face-off will be just outside the Cats' blue line with a healthy chunk of both penalties to the Cats still on the board. Skosana puts it in behind the net. Battle by Validus. Skosana flattens Validus. No call. Puck comes out. Radu regrouping. Puts it up center to Picardi. Picardi. Quick shot. High over the net. Collected by Fenter. Fenter moves around Vallis. Fenter shot. Saved by Mueller. Fenter. 5-on-3. Fenter from behind the net. Fenter looking to pass. Picardi. Shot. Blocked by Compton. Picardi and Compton battling. Picardi to John Fenter. Fans on it! Here comes Bremner! Bremner! One-on-one with Picardi. Good job of Picardi. Rims it around to Skosana. At the blue line. Headmans it to John Fenter. Fenter across the blue line. Trying to set it up. In the corner. Centers it. Saved by Mueller. Fenter and Delport battling in the corner. Bremner and Skosana moving there. Skosana to the point. Reinhard Fenter shoots. Scores! Reinhard Fenter! Fenter makes it a 4-3 tally, 1-goal game with just over 2 minutes to play in the third period. It's going to be an exciting 2 minutes, ladies and gentlemen. We'll see who draws the assists on that. But Fenter with a rocket from the point beat Mueller down low, glove side. Still a 5-on-4 advantage for the Caps for the next 40 seconds. Here comes Picardi. Picardi around the net. Picardi to the point. Shot by Tion. Save. Partial breakaway for Validus. Can't make much of it. He's in the zone. Vandermerver headmans it to Picardi. Checked by the Cats. Puck goes back to Vandermerver. Here's Fenter. Fenter skating across center ice, brings it into the zone. Fenter turns, taken out. The Cats. Here's Validus. Ices it down the ice. Vandermerver as the Cats change. That last goal again scored by 14, Reinhard Fenter. Here comes Thornton. Thornton up to Compton. Compton breaking in, 2-on-2. Can't beat Vandermerver in the corner. Keeps going, centers it, no one home. Fenter breaking out. Long stretch pass to Skosana, comes in. Onside, centers it. Put back the corner. Deflection on net. Mueller had to be sharp. With an action pass. Third period. 45 seconds to go. Teams are all even. It's 5-on-5 hockey for the first time in this half of the period. That last goal scored by Fenter. Assisted by number 18. Werner Redlinghuis and number 9, Keegan Thornton, both drawing assists on that last goal. Sorry, that was for the Cats. The goal was by Fenter, assisted by number 18, Vusis Kosana, and number 9, Sean Fenter, to bring them within 1. 5-on-5 hockey. Puck just comes out. Here's Van Rooyen. A 2-on-1 for the Cats. Shot! Turned aside by Butler. But he can't clear it and has to smother it and force a face-off in the Caps zone. 24 seconds left. 4-3 Cats versus Capitals. Interesting to see if the Capitals win the draw, whether Frank Verdu pulls his goaltender or not. Here's Venter. Venter out to Picatti. Picatti forward. Check. Loose puck. Nets off the moorings. There will be a face-off in the Cat zone. Will the Capitals pull their goaltender with 14 seconds left for the extra man advantage in the zone? It doesn't look like Bywater's making any effort to move. So the Caps are going with 5-on-5 with 14 seconds to go. Bywater now moving a little bit forward, but Caps win the draw. It will be icing. Icing with 6.7 seconds left. Will Bywater move now? He's getting no indication of being called away. Likely the final face-off of the game. To the right of Mueller. Picatti versus Bremner. Versus Compton. Draw one by Compton. Validus keeping it in the zone. The game is over. The Cats have upset the Capitals 4-3 in their second head-to-head match in the 2025 South Africa Super League. We'll take a short break while the teams celebrate and we get the players of the match.
Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause for the players in tonight's hard-fought match.
To present the player of the match for the Pretoria Capitals is national team legend Bruce Rodger. The player of the match for the Pretoria Capitals, number 14, Reinhard Venter. And now for the player of the match for the Wildcats, presented by SA Ice Integrity Officer Etienne Retief. For the Wildcats, the player of the match, number 77, Dylan Compton. Well, folks, the one thing we can say for sure is the games are getting more and more exciting as we move along. Tonight's contest was a highly entertaining affair, featuring a decent number of goals, a lot of temperatures rising on the ice, a penalty shot, and an action-packed third period, which saw the Capitals draw a one-goal victory to avenge their first game loss to the Pretoria Capitals in the 2025 South Africa Super League tournament. The tournament now moves to the mother city of Cape Town for the next game, where each team will similarly play each other twice and battle for the bragging rights to be the South Africa Super League champions for the 2025 season. Thank you for listening. We hope you enjoyed the games, and thank you for supporting the players and the officials and the timekeepers throughout their journey. Good night, and God bless.